Good day, good day, good day. We are talking about research based decisions and why it is so critical and so important for investments. Okay, so here's the thing. When it comes to research, it is so funny because when I look at different people that are on YouTube or on TikTok, and again, here I am on YouTube and TikTok. You know, we've built a company around this. We also have community space, all sorts of things that you can engage with. We have courses and stuff like that. But why is it so important to have that research? And the thing that I find so fascinating about this industry is that there are a ton, a ton of people out there, especially different ads that pop up whenever, you look at something investment related and they promise you some kind of crazy returns. They're like, oh yeah, look at this. I've got, $500 and now I've generated, $10,000 in the course of like a year, and it's just outrageous. And then I've looked at just to see the information that they have to back up what they're talking about, and a lot of the information is very shallow. And so by having a very critical mindset and having a research orientation to your thinking, what you end up doing is a lot of these types of flaky styles of investing where they promise you these extraordinary returns, and you go to look at what they're doing, it really doesn't hold a lot of water. And you have to be asking yourself, if this is actually promising these kinds of returns, why are the professionals not getting on the train? Why have they not figured this out? They've spent their whole lives figuring out how to squeeze different types of percentage points out of the market. Why are they not doing it? And so that's why having research is so important, and where you listen to that information. There are definitely a lot of credible sources on the internet. There's a lot of credible YouTubers on personal finance. There's different people that talk about investments, and they have a lot of information to be able to give. Different people that are professors and different ones that are putting out lots of content. I highly recommend making sure that you look into the information that you are receiving and looking at the research that they're talking about. At Good Fruit Investors, we simply pull upon the research to help us have an informed decision. We look at the research to be able to provide context and validity to information that we provide in our courses. We don't even go outside of the scope of what the information tells us, because we don't need to draw those conclusions. What we want to do is just be able to expose the research that is essential for people that are passive investors, people that are just simply wanting to look at being able to have their investments grow. They're, let's say, a working professional, too busy to be able to put full-time hours into trading. They just simply want to have a passive form of investments. But they understand the concept of having research orientation, of having a solid grasp on that. And even just having research, you can't just look at a piece of research and just be able to conclude what's concluded in a research paper. There's research methodologies, and inside of research methodologies, there's different types of weights of research. So like if you have a case study, or if you have any of them, there's p-values when you're getting into quantitative types of studies. And so you have to actually look at a lot of different variables to be able to determine what types of research hold a lot of water, as well as what that is actually telling you. And not getting confused with what it's telling you. A simple example of that is looking at causality versus correlation. So you might say, two stocks perform quite similarly. So they might be correlated, right? So if one goes up, the other one tends to go up. If one goes down, the other one tends to go down. But that doesn't mean that just because this stock in particular here, when it goes up, it's going to cause this one to go up. It just means that they're correlated. So when they're looking at a correlation, they're just looking at how frequent these two things behave similarly. But they're not looking at a causality. A causality is to say, okay, when this particular decision is done, this one will have a certain effect. And so a lot of times when we're reading information, we think that, there's those causalities when really it's correlations. And there's all sorts of other types of dynamics like that in the research world. And so at Good Fruit Investors, that's why we are very critical on ourselves. We're very critical with people that are giving feedback. We want to make sure that we're making those healthy assessments with even the education and the content that we're producing, so that we can keep revising it and keep changing it to keep refining it and get it more in a purified state. And so we have actually a course that is coming up. It's the we do have our 10 pillars of investing. It's a free course. We have how to avoid scams. That's a free course. You can take those right now. But we have the essentials of investing. And so what we actually do is think of it from more of a passive investor. And what we're trying to do is actually take what we've found to be some of the core research on different ways that people that are just retail investors, what are some of the ways that they are likely to have healthy returns in the investment world? What is statistically shown to be able to have healthy forms of return? And so we actually pull that information, we put it into a very succinct package, we break it down so that you can get right to that core information that you need. And so if you are interested in that, check out the link down below. You'll find a way to be able to sign up for it. It's extremely affordable. You simply just go into our community space. We do a class. We have everybody else in the class that's participating alongside you. And we're engaged along this whole process. There's homework assignments, all sorts of stuff. It really will feel just like a normal class if you were to go to school. I've been to university myself. I've done online courses through university. I understand the concepts of what they're trying to, in the way that they're delivering the information. It's not going to be exactly like university, but it's going to be delivered in a way where if somebody was a working professional and they were wanting to find this information, it's fed to them in a very healthy way, and there is that dialogue process that takes place in the class. I do personally look at the comments that people are providing. I do hear what people are saying. I do get back to people. It is like a class, and again, it's only for like 3 months. The cost is extremely affordable. If you were to sign up, we still have a discount for 30% off. So it comes out to, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of like $9 plus tax. So it's extremely cheap, and you basically sign up for a membership, and then you do that for the next, say, 3 months for the length of the course, because they're 12-week courses. And so then after that 12 weeks, if you're still interested in participating with what we have in our community space, feel free to do so. But if you're done, you got what you needed from the course, then you can just cancel everything out. So for next to nothing, $30, you can learn a lot of the essentials of investing and at least be able to cross-reference that in comparison to what you currently have going on. And so if you are interested in getting involved in the course, again, description down below. I highly recommend it. We just go into research and we just give you information that relates to the working professional and getting started in investing. So if you're new to this, it's a great place to start.